What's up, guys? Dimebot here. Welcome back to Elite Dangerous. This is episode 2 of our 2024 Starters Guide, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize. This one's going to be a pretty boring one in a lot of ways, guys. However, we're going to be going over the map, which is something you're going to be interacting with throughout your entirety of playing the game. So it is important that you get to know it. You won't get to love it, but you do need to understand how to use it. There are two maps, the galaxy map and the system map. We are going to go ahead and dive into the system map first. So just simply click on it on your left-hand panel over here, and you will be taken into this view right here. This is showing us the entirety of the star system. You will see the information up here in the summary, the region we're in, the allegiance of the system, its population, its government, its state it's in. We will go over states shortly, what type of economy it has, its security level, and then its star types. You will note that this system has, in fact, 3 different stars. Now, zooming in, let's take a look at these icons. These right here indicate fleet carriers. These are massive player-owned ships that are capable of jumping great distances and serving as mobile bases that offer various services. These are planets, obviously. The blue ring means you may land on the surface. The blue ring with the building icons means that there are some type of facilities on the planet. These 2 smaller icons are small space stations that can accommodate small to medium ships. Large ships cannot land here. These are gas giants. You'll notice no blue ring. You cannot land on them. Moving on, you'll see that each of these gas giants has an array of planets laid out below it. These are all moons that are orbiting that planet. And right here, you'll see that this is a moon with a moon. Coming down through here, you'll see that this is the planet that we are currently on, and if we click on it, we will be able to see some information about it right over here in the right-hand side. You'll see that I have a ship stored here, and I am here. I've not yet mapped the planet. You'll see all kinds of information on its mass, its radius, things like that, volcanism, its atmosphere, and it is an ice world comprised mainly of water ice. Now, over here on this right-hand panel, you have a variety of tabs. Market information, we do not have. Planetary information, we can see right here. Organic information, this is something that explorers will look for. You can use probes to scan for that. Stored ships, you can see that we can set it as our target. We could add it to our bookmarks. I could add it to my favorites and also share it with my squadron if I so choose. We will cancel that. We can view the planetary map right here. You will see that we are located right here. This is Chamberlain's Rest, where we are currently docked. We can focus that target, and we can copy the name in case you are looking somewhere on the map and you want to copy that name in to plot a route or to share it. Now, we're going to also talk about the orrery view here. Now, the orrery view is really only useful for explorers, but what it's going to do is it's going to put into context what this actually looks like in space. So this is what your system actually looks like if you were to zoom in on it. Let's go on around to one of these planets. And here you can see the various planets orbiting around the various bodies. This is going to give you an idea of what this actually looks like in space instead of this more sanitized view that is useful for seeing various things, but it is not useful for seeing the layout of the system. Now, here we can see the factions that are in the system. You can see what percentage of control they have. This is where the influence and reputation system comes in from missions. The influence is, well, how much influence they have in the system. If we were to do missions to help Black Widow, this 51.9% would go up. Power play is a system that involves superpowers, which we will cover when we get to the galaxy map. This current system is under the control of Archon Delane. That would be the Kumo crew. You can see points of interest here. Those are going to be split out for you. You can see orbital ports. You can see that this is these 2 right here. You can see landfall planets. These are going to correspond to those blue rings that you see there around the planets. You can hold to plot a route to these right here. You're also going to be able to see planetary ports. Chamberlain's Rest, where we are right now, Ross Silo and Selling's Holdings are in this system. You can see surface settlements as well as Odyssey settlements. Now, these are only available to people that have Elite Dangerous Odyssey. These are places that you can land at, and there will be bases, buildings there that you can go and mess around with. And, of course, you will see fleet carriers. And this will give you an idea of the services that they have. There are quite a lot of fleet carriers in this system. And your Thargoid War. Now, Thargoid War, we're not going to get into. This system is controlled by humans, and that's really all we need to know right now until we get to the galaxy map. If we back out of this and go to the galaxy map, this is where things, unfortunately, get extremely complicated and extremely messy. This is one of the most dense UI designs you're going to encounter, and it is an absolute doozy. So let's go ahead and look at what we've got. This menu over here will look pretty familiar. This is going to show you system information. It's going to show you power play, market information, which we will get to, your stored ships, system missions, friends, the Thargoid War, route plotting, target setting, bookmarks, and then these two, we can buy this data, or if you have scanned it, it will show up, your targeting focus, and copying your target name. This is where things start to get a little trickier. Now, my fleet, I can see where this ship is. It's currently where we are. I have a mission that is active. I can see where it is, and the map will zoom for me. It is right there. It will also display the distance to the system and the relevant information about the system. If I wanted to see that system's map, then I could click if I had the data available. Now, here is where you get into different modes. Realistic mode is going to make this look like a real map of the Galaxy Wood. You'll be able to see the different star colors there. This is probably one of your least useful views. Pilot's Federation mode is where we start to be able to break things down. And you're going to get quite a lot of options here. So, there are several major factions in the game. There is the Federation, the Empire, the Alliance. Then there are independent systems, and then systems with no alliance. These are typically going to be anarchy systems where nobody actually lives. So let's scroll out a little bit, and let's start toggling these filters. As a tip, you can just hold down the mouse button and scroll over these to turn them all off at once. Here we can see the various Federation systems. You can see them all around us. If we go back to that filter, we can turn the Empire on as well as Alliance and Independence. This is going to give you what's known as the bubble, basically, which is civilized, settled human space. Now, perhaps less useful is the civilization tool. You can see human, guardians, and Thargoids. This will tell you where the humans are, where the different alien species or their relics are. Government class. Now, you would think, why would I care too much about the government classes? Well, this lets you see things like detention centers, prison colonies. It also lets you see things like communist, feudal, and these are states that you might see when a system is being tipped one way or another in terms of being turned from control of a faction to another. These could be places where you could go to make some money in combat zones. This is for the traders among you, the economy tab. Let's go ahead and turn all of those off. Let's say that you want to make some money. A natural thing to do would be to find an extraction system where they mine ores and take it to a refinery system where they process those ores. Let's take a look right around where we are. Here we see Yakshapuz. Boy, that is a good name. That is an extraction economy. Very low population, but you could potentially go there and pick up raw materials to bring to the refinery system. So think of this the way that real supply and demand would work in the actual real world. Industrial, agricultural, terraforming, high-tech, etc. This is also useful if you are looking for specific parts for a ship. If you are looking for something, more than likely you want to go to a high-tech system or a military system where there will be a higher supply of advanced modules like frameshift drives or shields, or different types of weaponry in the case of a military system. If you are wanting to do a bunch of passenger runs, a tourism system may be a good place for you to go so that you can pick up some high-paying passenger missions. Again, think of it in terms of real-world economy because that's what this is mimicking. Now, for your states, you have a variety of them here. Expansion and boom, you may want to go there for trading because there may be a lot of money to be made there. War, Civil War, if you're a combat pilot, these are great places for you to go and potentially make some money. And then down here, you can see a whole bunch of other ones. Natural disasters, public holiday, terrorist attack, Thargoids. These are things that play more into community goals and into the ongoing Thargoid war. However, they are down here if you need to filter for them. Election, things like that could be useful. Our squadron actually has taken over a system, and we did use some of these states to help make it a little easier for our faction to gain the influence we needed to take control of the system. Now, security, high, medium, low, and anarchy, this is going to basically influence how much system authority is going to be all over if you do something stupid. Or if you get jumped, say, when you're mining, how quickly they will show up. In anarchy systems, nobody is coming to help you. And lastly, we have Star Class. Now, this is particularly useful if you are an explorer or you are traveling because you can refuel by scooping fuel off of stars. There is an acronym or mnemonic device that you can remember. It is KGB Foam, F-O-A-M. These are the stars that you can fuel scoop from. So if you are wanting to see where you can go when you are traveling, then you would simply turn off all of the stars that are not part of that. So we have K, G, B, F, O. And that will give us the stars. We'll turn off the proto-stars and stuff that we can scoop from. And as we zoom out, you'll see there are a lot of them. You do lose some clarity as you zoom on out. That is going to do it for the Pilots Federation mode. These are the ones that you will probably use the most. User data is going to be exactly what it sounds like. It is going to be data that you, the user, have accumulated that now shows up on your galaxy map. Now, you'll be able to see various services and things if you want to find the black market, fleet carrier vendors, interstellar factors, that kind of thing. This is where you would go to look for them. You can see visited stars, not visited. Let's turn off not visited. Oh, look, I haven't actually gone anywhere with this account. So that is useful for sorting out, particularly if you are, say, looking to expand into a new area or exploring. Cartographic data, if you have explored, you will have more data available here for the planets and systems that you have explored. Trade data is going to be something that we will cover more in our talk about how to actually trade in the game. But you can toggle these here if you have trade data available to know what is going on in that system's economy, if you don't, or if you've acquired that data. And here is a commodities map. This is pretty important for traders if you do not want to use an outside tool. Let's take a look at consumer items here. We can sort by consumer technology, import price, export price. And again, I will talk about this more in depth when we talk about trading. Just know that the information is in fact there for you to be able to use. Power play mode is probably one of the more daunting to use because it basically turns your map into a giant blob of colors. What you need to know here is that each one of these colors represents a faction. So you can look at all of them. There are quite a few. Now you can see the headquarters for any given faction by clicking on it and zooming in. If we wanted to see Felicia Winners, we can click right here and go see. And these are their spheres of influence. These expand and contract as players interact with the power play simulation. As I said, it is quite the mess. However, if you are into power play, you are going to want to get very, very familiar with this map. Next up is going to be the Thargoid War map, and this is going to show us the presence of the Thargoid systems that they are attacking, systems that need to be attacked. You can see right here there is a port under attack at this one. This is a counter-strike system where you can strike against the Thargoids. This system right here, You can rescue a megaship. These are all things that will contribute to the Thargoid War, and of course that Thargoid Titan. Population range is something you can use if you want to search for systems based on current population size. This can be useful if you're trying to get a handle on where you can find good trading opportunities or where you can find a likelihood of a larger starport and better equipment options, things like that. Next up is trade routes. So, in a note right here, you need to select different modes. You cannot see it in realistic or power play. So let's go to Federation mode and then turn on trade routes. There we go. Now, what you're seeing here is trending trade routes based on data purchased in the last 24 hours. You can see commanders, you can see commercial, which is in-game sim. You're not going to be seeing a lot of that right through here. And you can also see all of them. Let's go ahead and set it to commanders, and let's zoom in on where we are currently, which is hip. Now, what do these various lines mean? Well, let us go ahead and clear all of them. And there you go. Now, this is where this menu gets very, very ridiculous. So we can see metals that are coming into the system, which currently there are none, but you can sort by every metal in the game. We can also look for minerals. Now, you will see that there are some minerals that are coming into the system. However, which ones are they? What is in demand here? Well, bauxite is. So, you may know now that this system has a demand for bauxite. And this will show you that you can get some from HIP 97384. What else for this system? And I know this is a little dry and pedantic, but this is the kind of things that you need to check out, especially for trading. You can sort by other things, weapons, machinery. As you can see, there's a fair amount of potential trade opportunities for this system. Let's go ahead and close that menu out and look at route settings. This is something that you're going to be looking at a lot as you travel or explore. We're going to plot a route to this system right here. Now, this is set to economical route, which is more fuel efficient. We could set it to fastest route, and we will need to recalculate our route here. Fortunately, there's a handy button for that. You can also do what is called a jet cone boost. This is off of a neutron star. You will not be doing this a lot in normal space. However, if you explore, you will probably want to click this option. You can also use FSD boost. These are craftable items that come in 3 different levels. You can use these if you want to change your route, and I do not have any, and the game does not like that particular plotting, so we're just going to let that go. You can also calculate by cargo mass, depending on how much cargo you anticipate taking somewhere. This is a great way to check and see if you could potentially make a jump. So we have now plotted our route. If you notice at the bottom, it tells us how many jumps. Let's set it back to economical and recalculate. Right now, we were at 5 jumps. If we recalculate, we go to 8 jumps. Very useful if you're trying to plot your routes and want to figure out exactly where you are going. All right, so that is going to cover pretty much every little button on this map screen, guys. I know it is a lot of info. Don't forget that the map's also useful for basic map things like zooming in and out, moving around. Make sure that you do get familiar with this map. Know that you can search for pretty much anything that you want to. You can search by the name of a port if you want to. I happen to know about this one because this is where my squadron is based. I could set a route straight there if I wanted to. That would be 59 jumps. There's no way we'd get there in this ship. So if you happen to know the name of something or know where a friend of yours is, you can simply type that in, and that is where you can plot routes for various things to see how far away you are. If you want to look for a system, just say Colonia, for example. And get an idea of exactly how big the game's map is. Well, there is Colonia. That is towards the center of the galaxy. And that is the other human bubble. This is where we are. We're going to go ahead and zoom right back on in. So as I said, guys, very dry episode, but a crucial part of the game that you will be staring at quite a lot. And that will do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful or helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. If you watched till the end, thank you. I know this was a long, boring one. It really helps the channel out. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Diebot. I'll see you guys next time.